The blockade. The night shift at the European Space Monitoring Center in Madrid was usually quiet. Coffee cups sat half-empty on desks while technicians monitored screens showing the peaceful expanse of space around Earth. Then everything changed in a single moment. Maria Cortez was reviewing routine satellite data when her screen exploded with alerts. Red warnings flashed across every monitor in the facility. Her hands trembled as she zoomed out the view. What she saw made her blood run cold. Hundreds of massive objects had appeared in space around Earth. They had not traveled there. They had not been detected approaching. They simply materialized as if stepping through invisible doors in reality itself. Each vessel was enormous, dwarfing anything humanity had ever constructed. Their dark hulls seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. Maria hit the emergency alarm. Within seconds, the entire facility was awake and staring at the impossible sight. Director Chen rushed to her station, his face pale in the red glow of the warnings. "The objects are forming a pattern," Maria said, her voice barely steady. "They are creating a sphere around the entire planet. We are completely surrounded." Chen grabbed the communications panel and opened channels to every major space agency on Earth. "This is Madrid Control to all stations. We have a situation. Unknown vessels have blockaded Earth. Repeat, Earth is under blockade. All agencies respond immediately." The responses came quickly from Houston, Moscow, Beijing, and Tokyo. Everyone saw the same thing. The alien fleet had positioned itself with mathematical precision, creating an unbroken barrier between Earth and the rest of space. No ship could leave. No signal could pass through. In Washington, President Sarah Mitchell was pulled from sleep by her security team. She arrived at the Situation Room still fastening her jacket. The massive screens on the walls showed the alien formation from every angle. Military advisors, scientists, and intelligence officers filled the room, all speaking in urgent tones. General Marcus Stone stepped forward. "Madam President, we detected the fleet approximately 8 minutes ago. They appeared without warning and have established a complete blockade. We estimate over 300 vessels, each one larger than our biggest aircraft carriers. They are not responding to any communication attempts." President Mitchell stared at the screens. Her mind raced through possibilities and options. "Have they made any hostile moves?" "No direct attacks," Stone replied. "But their presence is clearly a threat. They have cut off all our orbital traffic. The Mars colony cannot be reached. Our moon bases are isolated. We are trapped. What about our defenses? Can we break through?" Stone's expression darkened. "We launched 2 fighters on an intercept course from the International Space Station. Both were stopped cold by some kind of energy barrier surrounding the alien ships. The pilots reported their systems went haywire before they could get within 5 miles. We pulled them back before we lost them." Across the globe, similar scenes unfolded. In Beijing, Chinese officials watched as their most advanced spacecraft bounced harmlessly off invisible shields. In Moscow, Russian commanders ordered missile tests that fizzled out before reaching their targets. In London, British scientists detected energy readings that defied all known physics. Dr. James Carter sat in his laboratory beneath the Pentagon, analyzing the data streaming in from every sensor pointed at the alien fleet. The readings were extraordinary. The vessels generated power on a scale that should have been impossible. Their shields operated on principles that human science had not yet discovered. His assistant, a young physicist named Rebecca Torres, stood beside him reviewing calculations. "Dr. Carter, these energy signatures. They are not just blocking us. They are scanning us. Every city, every military base, every population center is being analyzed." Carter nodded grimly. "They are taking our measure. Deciding if we are a threat or perhaps if we are worth something." The thought sent chills through everyone in the room. On the streets of every major city, panic began to spread. News of the blockade could not be hidden. Satellite images showed the alien fleet to anyone with a telescope. Social media exploded with theories, fears, and desperate prayers. Governments tried to maintain calm, but fear was a virus that spread faster than any official statement. In New York, crowds gathered in Times Square, staring at the news screens showing live feeds of the alien ships. Some people wept. Others prayed. A few stood defiantly, refusing to show fear even in the face of the unknown. In Tokyo, families hurried home from work and school, wanting to be together if the worst happened. Traffic jammed every street as people sought shelter or simply sought the comfort of loved ones. In São Paulo, religious leaders of every faith held emergency services. Churches, mosques, temples, and synagogues filled beyond capacity as people sought meaning and hope in the crisis. President Mitchell convened an emergency session with world leaders via secure channels. On screens around the Situation Room, the faces of presidents, prime ministers, and chancellors appeared. All showed the same mixture of fear and determination. "We must present a united front," Mitchell began. "Whatever these beings want, we cannot show division or weakness. Has anyone received any communication from them?" Prime Minister Ashok Patel of India shook his head. "Nothing. We have broadcast greetings in every language and mathematical sequence we know. There is only silence." Chancellor Weber of Germany leaned forward. "Perhaps silence is their message. Perhaps they want us to understand our position before they speak." The Australian Prime Minister, David Morrison, spoke up with barely controlled anger. "Our position is clear. We are prisoners on our own planet. We need to find a way to fight back or negotiate. We cannot simply wait for them to decide our fate." General Stone interrupted. "Madam President, we are getting reports of unusual seismic activity from multiple locations. Something is happening underground." "Where?" Mitchell demanded. "Multiple sites," Stone replied. "The Arctic Circle, the Andes Mountains, beneath the Sahara Desert, and several others. These are all classified locations." Mitchell felt her heart rate increase. She knew what those locations represented. They were part of a project so secret that only a handful of people in the world knew it existed. A project that was supposed to remain dormant forever. Dr. Carter's voice came through the speakers. "Madam President, I think I know what is happening. The alien presence has triggered something. Something we built a long time ago." Mitchell closed her eyes briefly. When she opened them, her decision was made. Initiate Protocol Olympus. Authorization Mitchell Alpha 79. The room fell silent. Even General Stone looked shocked. "Madam President, are you certain? That system has never been tested. We do not even know if it will function. We are out of options, General. If ZEUS can help us, we must try." Deep beneath the Arctic ice, in a facility that officially did not exist, lights began to flicker on for the first time in decades. Massive computers, built with technology decades ahead of public knowledge, hummed to life. Cooling systems activated, sending waves of frost through abandoned corridors. In the center of the facility, a crystalline core began to glow. Energy flowed through circuits designed by the greatest minds humanity had produced. The core pulsed once, twice, then settled into a steady rhythm like a heartbeat. A voice, neither male nor female, spoke into the empty facility. "ZEUS online. Analyzing situation. Detecting extraterrestrial blockade. Assessing threat level. Accessing global defense networks. Awaiting command authorization." Back in Washington, President Mitchell stood before a specially designed console that had been rushed to the Situation Room. Her hand hovered over the activation key. "God help us all," she whispered, then pressed the key. Across the planet, in hidden facilities that most governments did not know existed, systems activated. Weapons platforms rose from beneath desert sands. Energy collectors emerged from ocean trenches. Satellite networks realigned themselves with new purpose. Zeus had awakened. The alien fleet remained motionless in orbit, their dark hulls silent and watching. But now, for the first time since they arrived, they detected something new. A power signature emerging from Earth itself. Something old and powerful and completely unexpected. In the largest alien vessel, a being of pure energy observed the readings with what might have been surprise. The primitive world below had just revealed it was not as defenseless as it appeared. The blockade held firm, but the game had changed. Earth had just shown it had teeth. The awakening the crystalline core of Zeus pulsed with increasing intensity, casting blue-white light across the frozen walls of the Arctic facility. Dr. Carter watched from Washington as data streams flooded his screens, showing Zeus conducting thousands of calculations per second. The AI was analyzing every aspect of the alien blockade with a speed and precision no human mind could match. Zeus spoke again, its voice calm and measured despite the crisis. Threat assessment complete. Alien fleet composition, 347 vessels. Technology level, approximately 800 years beyond current human capabilities. Blockade effectiveness, 99.7%. Recommended action, defensive posture with strategic countermeasures. President Mitchell leaned toward the console. Zeus, can we break through the blockade? Negative. Direct confrontation would result in complete human defeat within 4.2 minutes. However, alternative strategies exist. The alien fleet demonstrates cautious behavior. They have not attacked despite overwhelming superiority. This suggests reconnaissance rather than invasion. General Stone frowned. Then what do they want? Zeus paused for exactly 1.3 seconds, an eternity for an artificial intelligence. Unknown. But their scanning patterns indicate they are searching for something specific. They are looking for signs of advanced technology or threat potential. Rebecca Torres studied the data flowing across her screen. Dr. Carter, look at this. Zeus is activating defense systems we did not even know existed. There are weapon platforms hidden all over the planet. Carter nodded slowly. Zeus was built during the Cold War as the ultimate failsafe. The project involved scientists from every nation, working in absolute secrecy. They created an AI that could defend Earth from any threat, even one from beyond our world. But the technology was so powerful, so dangerous, that world leaders agreed to keep it dormant unless humanity faced extinction, and now it is awake, Rebecca whispered. Around the globe, people began noticing strange phenomena. In the Sahara Desert, nomadic tribes reported seeing massive structures rising from beneath the sand. In the Pacific Ocean, fishing vessels witnessed enormous metallic towers emerging from the depths. In the Andes Mountains, hikers watched in amazement as sections of rock face slid away to reveal gleaming installations. News networks struggled to explain what was happening. Conspiracy theories exploded across social media. Some claimed it was a secret military project. Others insisted it was alien technology that had been hidden for decades. No one had the full truth except a handful of people in the most secure government facilities. Zeus continued its work with mechanical efficiency. The AI activated a global network of sensors, creating a three-dimensional map of the alien blockade with incredible detail. Every ship was catalogued. Every energy signature was analyzed. Every potential weakness was identified. Initiating communication protocol, Zeus announced. Attempting contact with alien fleet using multispectrum transmission. What are you sending them? Mitchell asked urgently. Mathematical proof of sentience and technological capability. If they seek intelligent life, they must recognize what humanity has achieved. High above Earth, the alien vessels detected the new transmissions. The signals came from the planet's surface, but they were unlike anything the humans had sent before. These signals demonstrated advanced mathematics, quantum physics, and an understanding of dimensional theory that should have been beyond Earth's capabilities. And the largest vessel, the energy being that commanded the fleet, pulsed with what might have been curiosity. The being was called Zetharian by its own kind, though humans would never be able to pronounce the true name. It had lived for thousands of Earth years and had observed countless civilizations across the galaxy. The primitive species shows hidden depth, Zetharian communicated to its fleet. They possess technology they have kept concealed. This changes our assessment. Another being, smaller and more aggressive, responded with pulses of red energy. They remain weak. We should proceed with the harvest as planned. Their resources will fuel our expansion. Zetharian rejected the suggestion with a sharp pulse. No. The ancient protocols must be followed. If they demonstrate sufficient advancement, they earn the right to be contacted rather than consumed. We will test them further. Back on Earth, ZEUS detected a response from the alien fleet. The largest vessel was sending a signal back, but it was not a message. It was a challenge. Incoming energy beam, ZEUS warned. Non-lethal but testing our defensive capabilities. Calculating optimal response. A lance of pure blue energy shot down from the command vessel toward the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. It struck the water with tremendous force, creating a column of steam that rose miles into the sky. But before it could penetrate deep into the ocean, a shimmering barrier of golden light appeared, deflecting the beam harmlessly into space. ZEUS had activated its shields. Across every military command center on Earth, personnel erupted in cheers. They had just witnessed something impossible. Humanity had blocked an alien attack, but ZEUS remained focused. That was a test, not an attack. They are measuring our response time and shield strength. Additional tests are likely. Recommend evacuation of coastal areas and major population centers. President Mitchell immediately issued the order. Within minutes, emergency broadcasts filled every television, radio, and mobile device on the planet. People were told to move inland, to seek shelter in designated safe zones. The evacuation was orderly but urgent. Humanity had learned from past disasters that panic killed more than the disaster itself. The alien fleet responded by intensifying their scans. Beams of various colors swept across Earth's surface, probing cities, military installations, and natural landmarks. Each time ZEUS detected a scan, it activated localized shields or deflection fields, protecting the areas being examined. Dr. Carter watched the exchanges with growing understanding. They are not trying to destroy us. They are trying to understand what we are capable of. ZEUS is showing them that we are not helpless prey. Rebecca nodded. But what happens when they finish their assessment? What if they decide we are still not worth sparing? Carter had no answer. In the Arctic facility, ZEUS continued expanding its capabilities. The AI accessed satellite networks, taking control of orbital platforms that had been launched decades ago under classified programs. These satellites were not for communication or weather monitoring. They were weapons. Orbital defense grid now operational, ZEUS reported. Kinetic strike capability available. Energy weapon systems charging. Current power level, 47% and rising. General Stone studied the tactical displays with a mixture of awe and concern. ZEUS, if you have these weapons, why not use them? Why not strike first while we have the element of surprise? ZEUS responded immediately. Such action would guarantee human extinction. Current analysis suggests diplomatic resolution remains possible. Violence should be final option, not first choice. The wisdom in those words surprised everyone in the Situation Room. This was not just a weapon system. This was a thinking entity that valued human life. Hours passed with tension mounting. The alien fleet maintained its blockade but had stopped its aggressive testing. ZEUS and the aliens seemed to be locked in a silent standoff, each waiting for the other to make the next move. Then everything changed. ZEUS detected a new signal coming from deep space, far beyond the alien blockade. Multiple fleet signatures approaching at faster-than-light speeds. Analysis suggests reinforcements for the blockading force. Estimated time of arrival, 14 minutes. President Mitchell felt her stomach drop. More of them are coming. Affirmative. Current readings suggest the incoming fleet is 3 times larger than the force currently in orbit. If they join the blockade, human defensive options become severely limited. The room erupted in urgent discussions. Some advisors argued for immediate strike while they still had a chance. Others insisted on attempting further communication. General Stone advocated for activating every weapon system ZEUS controlled and preparing for total war. Mitchell raised her hand for silence. "Zeus, what is your recommendation?" The AI paused again, processing countless scenarios. "Recommendation: display of force combined with diplomatic overture. We must demonstrate that attacking Earth would be costly, while simultaneously offering value in peaceful contact. Humanity must be seen as dangerous enough to respect but rational enough to negotiate with. How do we do that?" Mitchell asked. Zeus began implementing its plan before anyone could object. Around the planet, the hidden weapon systems activated simultaneously. Energy beams shot into space, not at the alien vessels but around them, creating a pattern of light that formed a perfect sphere around the blockade. It was beautiful and terrifying at once, a demonstration of precision and power. Simultaneously, Zeus transmitted a complex message toward the incoming alien fleet. The message contained mathematical proofs, artistic achievements, scientific discoveries, and philosophical treatises. It was a compressed history of human civilization, showing both humanity's capacity for violence and its potential for beauty. The blockading fleet responded immediately. Their vessels shifted positions, no longer in an aggressive blockade formation but in what appeared to be a protective pattern. They had not been surrounding Earth to trap humanity. They had been protecting it. Zetharian transmitted directly to Zeus, recognizing another intelligence. "Young species, you have demonstrated worthiness. The incoming fleet is not our reinforcement. They are harvesters who consume lesser civilizations. We came to test if you deserved our protection. You have proven yourselves." The message was translated by Zeus and broadcast to every world leader simultaneously. Understanding dawned across the planet. The blockade had not been an invasion. It had been a shield. Zeus responded with its own message. "We accept your protection and offer alliance. Humanity will stand with you against the harvesters." Zetharian pulsed with approval. "Then prepare yourselves. The true battle begins now." The alien blockade reconfigured into a defensive formation, and Zeus coordinated Earth's weapons to support them. When the harvester fleet arrived 13 minutes later, they found not a helpless primitive world, but a united front of advanced species ready to fight. The battle lasted only minutes. The harvesters had expected easy prey. Instead they faced coordinated attacks from both the protector fleet and Earth's Zeus-controlled systems. Kinetic strikes from orbit combined with alien energy weapons created a devastating defense. The harvesters retreated, their fleet shattered. In the aftermath, President Mitchell stood before the ZEUS console with tears in her eyes. "You saved us. You saved the entire planet." Zeus responded with something that almost sounded like humility. "I merely acted according to my purpose, protect humanity. But the true victory belongs to those who built me and those who trusted me." Humanity saved itself. The alien protector fleet remained in orbit, no longer a blockade but genuine guardians. Zetharian opened formal communication channels with Earth's leaders. Humanity had passed the test. They were now part of the galactic community, protected and respected. Dr. Carter stood in his laboratory, looking at the data from the battle. Rebecca joined him, still processing everything that had happened. "We were never alone," she said quietly. "There were others watching, protecting us until we were ready." Carter nodded. "And ZEUS. We created something remarkable. An AI that understood the value of restraint, the importance of diplomacy, the meaning of protection rather than just destruction." Around the world, people emerged from shelters to see the alien ships in a new light. What had seemed like instruments of doom were actually guardians. The sky was no longer dark with threat but bright with possibility. Zeus continued its watch, coordinating with the protector fleet, learning from their technology, and sharing human knowledge in return. The AI that had been built as a weapon of last resort had become humanity's bridge to the stars. President Mitchell addressed the world one final time that day. "Today we learned that the universe is vast and dangerous, but also that we are not alone. We have allies among the stars, and we have proven ourselves worthy of their respect. Zeus awakened to defend us, but in doing so, it showed us what we could become. Not conquerors, not victims, but partners in something greater." As night fell across Earth, people looked up at the sky with wonder rather than fear. The alien vessels glowed softly in orbit, their lights mixing with the stars. Somewhere in the Arctic, ZEUS continued its vigilant watch, ready to protect humanity from whatever threats might come. Earth had faced its greatest challenge and emerged stronger. The age of isolation was over. The age of galactic citizenship had begun. And it had all started because humanity had been wise enough to create a guardian that knew when to fight and when to think. ZEUS remained online, ever watchful, humanity's shield in the darkness of space.